got now?
No, I mixed up the order.
No!
Fixing it. Relax. Now, we come back to the second best movie
in Phase 2.
In Phase 2, and one of the best of the run so far.
Easily.
Because...
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is so damn good.
It is so
it's
damn
so damn good because it's so damn different from everything Marvel had done up to that point.
Exactly.
James Gunn is a genius.
I will let you take the lead on this one. I'm going to say this really quick. This was the first one out of the entire run that I was like, I don't know about this. I was really hesitant about whether or not this would do good.
Oh, I was right there with you on that. I mean, because up to that point, it was the big four.
You weren't as hating on it because you were a fan of James Gunn.
I'm a fan of James Gunn.
And I didn't watch, was it Slither?
Yeah, you didn't watch it. Super? See Super?
No, I haven't watched.
So you really haven't watched any of his movies.
No, so I was just
besides Dawn of the Dead, which he wrote.
And this is characters that I'm familiar with because we're those kind of geeks where we need to know every single aspect, whether or not they're our favorites or not.
Exactly.
But I was just kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, go on.
I mean, okay, no, but I was feeling the kind of like, really, before James Gunn signed up. When they were like, we're doing a Guardians movie, I was like,
oh yeah. Immediately, I was
really?
like,
You're going to space already?
Why would you do that? This seems so...
Yeah,
why
like,
with these characters?
James Gunn's going to write and direct. I was like, wow, man, I don't even give a shit now. I love it. That's a great movie, and I haven't seen it yet.
You kept telling me that. You're like, Slither, you got to see Slither. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to see Slither. And now I'm like, I should watch it.
You still haven't seen Slither?
No, but I'm probably going to just find it and then steal it for a while.
There.
There you go.
It's the new edition, too. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, well then.
Scream Factory just re-released this. And it's got like a whole shit ton of like new audio commentary by him, interviews with the cast, like all brand new
stuff. I probably won't watch any of those things.
No, but I will.
Okay.
Slither. Yeah, awesome movie. Super's in here too somewhere.
I'm not worried about Super. We'll watch this first and then go to Super.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah, where was I?
Slither.
No.
You weren't as hesitant as I was.
Threw me off on that one. No, I was as hesitant. I was most hesitant with some of the casting, which was odd. I knew nothing about Chris Pratt before this because I didn't watch Parks and Rec.
Yeah, see, Chris Pratt was...
So they're like, Chris Pratt, this guy's going to headline it.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, okay, so I guess...
And then I was like...
Star-Lord's going to be a joke character?
Marvel only hires guys named Chris? What?
Because Star-Lord in the comic books is actually, like, a douchebag. Like, he's a prick, and then he becomes, like, a Captain America-type character.
Right.
But he actually has a story arc dating back in the 70s.
Yeah, he didn't fucking listen to a cassette player and dance around.
No.
That didn't happen. That's all James Gunn.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, Chris Pratt, I remember being like, okay, I'm not so sure about that. The only ones that I was okay with was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that one was like, his voice is rocket.
Yeah, like Bradley Cooper I was fine with, and
Zoe
Saldana. Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yep. And then I wasn't too concerned with Dave Bautista because I generally assumed that Drax was just going to be like the Destroyer character. He wasn't going to be a smart guy.
Not going to have a whole...
He was just going to be the guy that's essentially the Hulk. And so I was like, okay.
But I was amazing when with Dave Bautista because at that point he was like starring in like direct-to-video action movies.
Yeah. I just felt like they just got a guy that like was jacked.
Because it was between him and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and
Bautista won.
Well, and now we know why. Yeah, because...
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great in that role.
Like...
And then Vin Diesel's Groot. That was cool.
Yeah, that was an easy one, too, because you're just like, oh, he just says, I'm Groot. Okay.
I'm Groot. You listen to his voice, you're like, okay, well, that's...
Yeah, so, like, I mean...
totally right.
3 parts of the casting, I was like, okay, fine. It was the other ones, you're just like, well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
You know?
Karen Gillan as Nebula, awesome. But again, weird casting.
Weird casting.
Because I'm like, the cute redhead girl from Doctor Who is going to be like the badass Nebula.
I didn't even really watch the seasons that much, so I wasn't.
I was kind of in and out with that too.
Especially because for me, like coming off of David Tennant, I couldn't get into Matt Smith because like I don't know what it was about David Tennant, but I was like, that's my doctor right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was so good.
He's just a great actor.
Yeah, Purple Man.
Like friggin' Kilgrave.
Ugh.
Like, we want to talk villains as a whole in the MCU. Well, there's one of your top ones right there.
He's one of the best.
Easily. So creepy. So eerie and creepy.
I like how they handled the rape overtones and undertones
Mhm.
without being really in your face about it.
Yeah.
Because that's such a touchy subject. And like we mentioned Kick-Ass 2, and I remember that scene was just, even in the book and in the movie, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we have to do this?
Why?
You know?
At least they didn't show anything in the movie.
No.
Because it was fucking graphic in the comics.
They hint at it heavily.
Yeah.
They
know what's happening.
They pretty much say it without saying it, but they treat it very adult where they're like, it happens, but
it happens.
we don't need to talk about it because it's fucking gross. But anyway, so
we're like talking cast wise. Lee Pace was great as Ronan, even though Ronan is a boring villain to me. Like he
was more of a good guy in the comic books. He starts off kind of bad.
Yeah,
and then
like
he's kind
I've
of
never
good.
been interested in him in the comics.
No.
So I was like,
but then again,
but I was like, maybe I'll feel better about him in the movie because I was never in
but
Iron
we're also
Man.
talking about Guardians, right? So the Guardians of the Galaxy was
none of them.
You know, like
closest one that I probably ever liked was Drax, because his whole arc in Annihilation against Thanos, that's awesome.
Yeah, and see, and that was one of the things where when we got closer to it, and I realized that they were mining more of the Annihilation stuff, that I was like, okay, all right, because the Annihilation stuff sounded really cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know,
it's a fucking epic.
And I was just like, okay, all right, I can kind of get in this. And then I saw the first trailer, and I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
You know, and I was still a little hesitant, and then the second trailer dropped, and I remember being like, yeah, this is actually going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the soundtrack, and even just the scene where, you know, like you said, he's fucking got a Walkman, and he's dancing.
Kicking little fucking alien monsters around.
He's got the one, and he's singing into it while it's screaming at him. It's just like, what the fuck?
Those opening credits are so
and
good.
Then you get this one where he's just like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. You know? It's like immediately goes from like, Star-Lord to like, Star-Lord. Like, how do you not know? I was like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
He gets away, and the chick falls out, and she's like, hey, you know, what's going on? He's just like, I honestly forgot you were still here. So, you know, and that was, so that movie, like, right away, I'm like, okay, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
And special effects, awesome. Everyone in the movie gels so perfectly. Pratt was a standout.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
and that movie made him a star. Instantly a star.
Yeah.
Goes from that to leading Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which becomes one of the biggest movies in the world.
Exactly.
Like, you're good for life now, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And Drax, we were talking about Dave Bautista, where I thought he was going to be a little bit more of a Hulk character. Wasn't at all.
And again with Bautista. He was doing fucking like Man with the Golden Fist or something.
Yeah.
And then like friggin' some Van Damme movie
Kickboxer.
he was in. Like,
he was in a Kickboxer.
Like he wasn't anything huge, and then he does that, and now all of a sudden he's in Bond and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. He was really good in Blade Runner.
Oh, he was so good in Blade Runner.
Like, I wanted
more of
him.
that. Exactly.
Because
I wanted so much more.
Real quick, Blade Runner, long and boringly beautiful movie.
Yes.
It's
pretty much the same as the first movie. Overly long, overly boring, but by God, one of the most beautiful movies you'll ever see.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Although I am glad Shape of Water beat them.
Yeah, me too.
That's just a better movie all around.
Shape of Water is so good. And the C. Del Toro up there, I'm so happy for him.
You probably were crying.
I
was a
little misty-eyed. I honestly was a little misty-eyed. I screamed. I was like, ah! I had a feeling he was going to take Best Director, but I didn't think Shape of Water was taking Best Picture.
Yeah.
So when it took Best Picture, I was like, yes, yes, yes! So happy. I woke Adrian up. She was fine with it. She understood.
Okay, so I guess we'll do the same thing we did with like Winter Soldier. What were the things you liked about Guardians?
Guardians,
so far that we haven't touched upon.
Guardians, I like everything about Guardians pretty much. I mean, the costumes and the fucking character designs. Wow. Like, we're talking like character designs that are on par with Star Wars and Star Trek, maybe even better in some parts. Like, so damn good.
Yeah, the way they did their aliens.
Yeah, the Nova Corps, so cool.
I say Corps.
Corps?
Because it's Marine Corps, you know? It's the Green Lantern Corps. It's not corpse.
Corpse.
It's not bodies.
I'll go corpse.
Well, I guess it's tomato, right?
As in CORPS, not an E on the end.
Yeah, but
They're
when you
not dead
pronounce it-
people.
But when you pronounce it like that,
Corpse.
yeah.
You know the Nova Corpse?
Yeah.
Nova's
the
body.
bodies of Nova.
They're all hanging around. But yeah, no, that was really cool. A little bit of Thanos in there was really cool because I was not expecting that halfway through the movie.
I seeing the way they've got Thanos right now, like, yeah, this part does look better, but I liked him in the full-on battle armor.
too.
And I don't know why they've got him in this pimp daddy suit.
I know.
You know?
I hate it so much. In fact, I'm excited for Infinity War. Beyond belief excited for it.
I'm trying to temper myself so that I don't walk out of that movie going like, it was not what I expected.
But I've been waiting for this movie since 2012, and it's finally here. And Thanos and the Avengers, none of them look the way they should.
I know, eh? Like, isn't that the weirdest
We have a
thing?
bearded Captain America,
Never mind.
a one-eyed...
bearded, long-haired, totally blacked-out Captain America suit.
A one-eyed, short-haired Thor.
Right.
A blonde Black Widow.
Yep.
Tony's Tony.
Yeah, well, that's true. Hulk looks generally the same.
Well, except he's got the nice styled haircut now for Ragnarok. Oh,
that's right.
Sexy Hulk.
That's right. Yeah, he's got that cropped look or whatever you want to call it. But,
But I mean, it's finally here, and none of them look. So I'm like, but I'm still pumped.
Hell, even Spider-Man's wearing the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, God, I hate that suit so much.
I know, so do I. Like, a lot of people are just like, man, it looks so great.
Ever.
And I'm just like, no, it's not.
It's like I would have much rather seen the symbiote.
And here's the thing, I'm a stickler. Like, I actually thought, like, when you change the costumes too much, Spider-Man's one of those ones where you don't really need to change it. But the way he looks in Homecoming, I thought looked great. Even just with the extra black little linings and stuff like that, I thought turned out really good.
I wish Marvel would have been like, hey, listen, Sony, can you hold off on Venom for one more year? Because Spidey's going to find the symbiote while fighting Thanos.
Were you let down by that trailer?
Not really.
I
wasn't expecting to see Venom in the first trailer.
That's not the part that lets me down. Because it's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
Show Venom in the
Teasers are always quick little
You don't do that.
throwaway
It's
thing.
everything else. Everything else.
It doesn't really show you anything. Like
it does nothing.
It doesn't even say the title. It just like puts a V up there, and everyone's like, V.
Yeah, vagina?
V. So Tom Hardy is in this movie, V. But Marvel is part of it, because it said Marvel at the beginning. We know that. We're going to watch it now.
Yeah, see, like...
I can't wait for Marvel Presents V.
It does nothing to make me want to see it. And I like it. I love Tom Hardy.
I think it's going to be fucking awesome, though.
I hope so.
I do. I think it will be.
I hope so.
Hardy's a great actor. I think Sony has learned from Spider-Man 3 what to do with Venom.
I hope so. I hope so.
That's what I think. Michelle Williams is in it. She's really good at picking good movies to star in.
That is true.
I don't think she would read a script and go, ugh.
I did perk up and go, oh my god.
Well, if she's interested, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so
back to Guardians.
Yeah, back to Guardians real quick. Well, not real quick. We'll take our time. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. The only thing I love the whole movie. The whole movie. The only thing that I like, but I don't like is the dance off with Ronan. It's hilarious, but it's like Ronan, if he's supposed to be the serious big badass guy, he wouldn't just be like, "What are you doing? What is happening?"
Yeah. He threw him off though.
Yeah, he threw him off. Any real warlord would be like, "What are you doing?" He died.
Yeah,
he'd be dead.
I don't know. Like I still like it. I still like it in the sense where it's not what you expected.
No,
because you expected all of them to come together, kick the fuck out of him, and anyone else that shows up.
True, it's totally not what I expected.
And
at this rate,
it's like the Doctor Strange ending.
Yeah.
Where you think it's going to be just like all the other endings, and it isn't at all.
No. Instead it's Spawn.
Yeah, but still, not quite.
But we'll get to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But yeah, they did so much good with that I was like, I can't get over how well the movie is, how well done it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another one where... I don't want to say you take out all the Guardian Galaxy elements. It's really just a space movie. If you like space movies, if you're into Star Wars or Star Trek, you're probably gonna like this movie.
It's not a superhero movie.
No.
Nothing about that movie feels like a Marvel comic book.
Yeah, and I do like how they play it. That these guys, are ultimately good guys, but they're not necessarily going to do the right thing the right way. They're going to, they're mercenaries.
Yeah.
They're heroes for hire, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I loved the stuff with the Nova Corps. I liked that one.
Yeah.
How, like, it's an actual corps of, like, a police force, essentially.
Yep.
And the fact that they got largely decimated towards the end of that movie really kind of brings me to hope that they're going to introduce Nova, period. I don't see them doing it because they've got Captain Marvel coming up.
I think we're waiting. I think he might pop up in Phase 4.
I hope so.
Maybe.
But it's
a maybe. Eventually, they're going to have to move on to their C-D-list characters, because the big guns are retiring.
That's right.
They're going away.
That's right.
So,
yeah, for me, there was nothing that I didn't like about this movie aside from Ronan being a real, like, they do a good job of building him up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like when he gets out of that tub thing, he's put on the mate.
Yeah,
that's a really cool scene.
It's a cool scene, and you're really just like, and like you feel like he's that purist religious nut that's taking it too far, and you're like, okay, like those guys are scary. Just in real life, when you run across somebody who's super religious, you're kind of afraid of them because you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do, and tie it into your religion. Oh, I did that. Yeah, I killed him, but God told me to. That's scary shit, right?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like, I agree with the dancing. I like it because it's different, but you're right. Like, it is a letdown because you think, ho, 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 ho.
Yeah.
And then,
Like, it's funny.
It's not like...
But I don't mind it because Guardians was the first movie like this. It did its own thing. It's like, no, we are this. We are not those movies.
Exactly.
We're not copying anything
and
those movies did.
Another thing I really liked was, is it music cold in here?
No.
Oh, okay. Then it must be just me.
Your nipples aren't showing through yet. You're okay.
Oh, well then, sweet. Yeah.
Should we talk about Winter? You know what it is? You got all heated up over Winter Soldier, and now that we're done, you're cooling off.
I was all like really psyched up. But like, I remember like coming off of Guardians and just being like, well, now I want to see them interact with all the other characters. Because they're all distinct. And the other thing I like too is because we keep talking about this, and the longer these movies go, we get into the template stuff. We're talking about, well, now there's an Iron Man template in Spider-Man. And now there's a Guardians template in Thor Ragnarok, right? Well, there was no template for this. And the characters themselves aren't like, there isn't a Captain America character. There isn't an Iron Man character. They're all just their own characters, And they each have their own stories, which I thought was really neat. But and none of it feels forced. Like, it's not just like, we all have the common enemy, so I guess we're buddies now.
Yeah.
It was just like, Groot and Rocket, they're buddies. They're mercenaries. They just happen to get arrested because they were trying to get, the orb from Star-Lord and Gamora, and then Drax is there, and then finally they're like, well, we kind of have to work together to get off this place, and they all kind of want to fuck Ronan up, right? But even the stuff where people say things like, well, how does he get batteries for the Walkman? I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
he's in space.
I was in that, and then I was like,
he's in space. He could have figured something out.
He could fucking pick a rock up with some crazy asteroid and just throw it in there.
He could literally talk to an alien that's been on Earth and go like, hey man, can you do something about this?
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, there you go, unlimited supply.
I mean, they're flying around spaceships. I think they can figure it out.
Is actually really touching. I really liked that they gave him such a heartfelt story. Yeah. Because you kind of now understand why he's being sort of this aloof slut.
Yeah.
He's Captain Kirk, but dialed up, right? So you get all that. I like how they kind of sort of tease a relationship with Gamora, but they don't really go full bore right away. Even just Drax's story, where he's just like
his family and
Rocket.
Rocket's is really sad.
Rocket's the worst story out of
really
all of
sad.
Them, and he's still like really cool. And then Groot,
Can I just go to Groot for a second here and
Please
say that the end where he saves him made me cry like a baby.
Man, that was amazing. That's absolutely
he raps over
amazing.
and Tyler Bates' score playing. Okay, Tyler Bates does all James Gunn's movies, right?
Oh yeah.
Guitarist of Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did
So
not
the
know.
guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy score is the guitarist of Marilyn Manson.
Probably another reason why I've always been a Marilyn Manson fan.
Yeah.
Because
How interesting is that?
yeah,
It's like
that's actually really interesting.
But the music he played, and then the lights floating around him, and
We Are Groot.
We Are Groot. Oh man!
And
Even now, it's making me emotional.
And those sticklers too, where they're just like, like, oh, all he says is "I am Groot," and then he says "We are Groot." It's like, well, then he doesn't always say "I am Groot." I'm like, yeah, but who cares?
Yeah,
that was a beautiful scene.
So good.
You know, and then Rocket at the end with the stick.
Yeah.
You know, because his best friend is gone, and he doesn't want to admit that he misses his best friend, that he loved his best friend.
Yeah.
And that hesitant sort of like just kind of pets him, you know, and you're just like, oh my god, like this is so crazy. And then Baby Groot.
Baby Groot do a little dance.
You know, they get
Drax
the pardons. I
looking.
love when they get the pardons. At the end, they get the pardons,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, so what do you want to do? Something good? Something bad? Maybe a little something of both. I was like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, and I felt like it was great to follow up Winter Soldier with first of all, an excellent palate cleanser, because this had no ties.
Yeah.
You had this world-changing movie that's pretty heavy, and it doesn't really end on a positive note. Then you have this movie that's lighthearted. There are stakes, but it's not as heavy. Like, I mean, yeah, the fate of the galaxy is at stake, you know what I mean? Like, those are pretty high stakes.
Yeah.
But they play it for laughs, but it's still serious enough that you care about all these characters. You care that stuff's going to happen. Like, even the scene where Star-Lord like jumps out of his pod to save Gamora and gives her his face mask thing, and then you see him like freezing up. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so many cool things about this movie. So, great palate cleanser, and also one of the best movies in the lineup.
Easily.
Like, yeah.
And that's both Guardians movies. We'll get to the second eventually.
Yeah. Oh.
Like James Gunn had a big job ahead of him to follow up that one.
Yeah.
And he did good.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So because of Guardians of the Galaxy, now I'm no longer as hesitant with these weird movies. Like when they announced Ant-Man.
Again, I was hesitant though. But that was more or less because of the problems that came with the production of that one.
And I was hesitant for those reasons, but I remember like we both said, yeah, but look at Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians was now the scapegoat, so to speak. Where even with Doctor Strange, where I was like, I probably would never have said, let's do a Doctor Strange movie, but you know what? Guardians, Ant-Man.
I'll give it a shot.
Let's do it.
Right, and that's how like the characters I loved growing up.
I said the same thing about Black Panther.
Me too.
I said the exact same thing.
Me too.
I
was like,
I don't
Black
know
Panther
about
comes
this
out.
one, but you know what? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Panther's out next month. I totally forgot. It looks all right. And then I watched it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I gotta go see it with
you
my
haven't
dad.
seen it?
No.
Okay.
I gotta see it with my dad.
I'm watching it again too, so we should definitely talk about that one. So.
Oh yeah, we definitely will talk about that one.
Yes.
So overall, great movie.
Great movie.
It's real quick. Actually, I'm gonna say this: the part where he gets him to take his leg, and then later on, it's just like, I need you to get this guy's eye. Like, what was the look on his face when he took his leg? I was like, oh my god.
I didn't need that. I just want to see you do it.
And then when he says the eye thing, and you're just like, oh my god. So good.
Oh,
good.
man.
I've been waiting the whole time. I keep forgetting to mention that. I just love the fact he's like, I can't believe you did that. And he's just like killing himself because it's the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Oh.
All right. So here it is.
The finale.